Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Monday, August the 11th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set for a flat opening to begin the week with ASX futures up just 5 points. Global equities rose on Friday as anticipated US interest rates may fall further this year, while European shares posted their biggest weekly gain in 12 weeks on the strength from banking stocks. US stocks ended higher, the Nasdaq notching another record closing high as tech-related shares gained. For the week, the S&P rose close to 2.5%, the Dow gained 1.3%, and the Nasdaq climbed almost 4%. Apple shares climbed to be up more than 13% for the week after President Trump said it would invest an additional $100 billion in the US, bringing total commitments to $600 billion over the next 4 years. Shares of Gilead Sciences surged after it raised its full-year financial outlook. Expedia again raising its annual forecast for gross bookings and revenue growth. Under Armour saw its sales decline and expected them to worsen this quarter, warning of soft demand, sending the sportswear maker's shares down some 18%. And US listed shares of the gold miners rose after US gold futures hit a record driven by reports of US tariffs on bullion bar imports. Well, the Reserve Bank of Australia is expected to cut the cash rate tomorrow for the third time this year, as inflation remains within the bank's target band, with core inflation slowing to 2.7% in the June quarter. Markets have fully priced in a 25 basis point cut in the benchmark, taking it to 3.6%, with a small chance of a double interest rate cut also priced in. A fourth rate cut is priced in for November. Meanwhile, in the US, the monthly US Consumer Price Index report, due tomorrow, with data showing higher than expected inflation, could undermine the growing expectation for impending interest rate cuts. And China registered zero consumer price inflation in July, while producer prices fell 3.6%. And China could face a potential tariff increase tomorrow unless the Trump administration approves an extension of a prior truce. US Treasury yields rose on Friday after a series of lacklustre auctions ahead of this week's inflation data. The yield on the 10-year note rose 4 basis points to 4.28%, and the 2-year was around 3.75%. And the US dollar firmed, but was lower on the week as weakening economic data leads traders to price in the probability of more rate cuts this year. The Aussie is around 65.2 US cents. This movement will be in focus as the Reserve Bank makes its interest rate decision. And Bitcoin is trading above close to 119,000 US dollars. Oil was steady on Friday as markets await a meeting in coming days between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. Brent crude futures at $66 a barrel. Copper rose more than 1.5%. Iron ore was flat at $101 US dollars a tonne. And US gold futures paired gains having hit $3,457 an ounce after a US government ruling that imports of 1 kilogram gold bars from Swiss refineries would face a 39% tariff. However, the premium quickly collapsed after the US administration signalled it would issue a new policy clarifying that gold bars would not be subject to the duties. Locally this week, all eyes will be on the Reserve Bank when it hands down its policy decision tomorrow. Also tomorrow, NAB's business survey for July. Wednesday sees the wage price index for the June quarter, followed by jobs data for July on Thursday and CBA's household spending data on Friday. Overseas, the US Consumer Price Index for July is released on Tuesday, along with the federal budget balance. Thursday, US producer prices, then on Friday, China retail sales, production and investment. Also US retail sales, industrial production and import and export prices. On the earnings calendar today, we can expect results from Beach Energy, JB Hi-Fi, Dexus, Iris and Car Group. That is the day and the week ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.